What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Time Reviews episode 188, and on today's episode we are going to look at the new Adidas jerseys for the international teams. We have 22 new jerseys to look at, react, and rank in a tier list, so let's head straight into it. All right, so today's episode, as we mentioned at the top, 22 new jerseys to talk about, all the home kits for these international squads. We do have a good amount of good looks here, some descriptions from Adidas themselves, and we have ratings for every single one of them. So yes, the rating system, if you're new to the channel, is 1 out of 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best of the best, but no whole score scorings. We give decimal points, 6.8, 5.5, 9.8, things like that. The raters today include me, the podcast dad, and Jillian, who was on the most recent episode of the podcast, episode 187. If you want to go check that one out, that is out right now, so go check out that episode. So all three of us looked at all the jerseys separately, no collaboration until after the reactions. We have our numbers here. I tallied them out, averaged out, put them into a tier list. So you'll see the tier list as we go through. We'll start off alphabetical, so we'll start off with Algeria. So Algeria, inspired by the sand dunes of the Algerian desert, the Algerian home jersey boosts a dynamic stripe graphic layout in beige with white, with a vibrant green finish across the neckline and shoulders. Honestly, this jersey doesn't really scream to me that much. I think it's just in my opinion. The other guys, Dad and I pretty much kind of agree with this. Jillian actually really liked this one. An 8.8 is what she graded it. But the average together, a 6.8 out of 7. So that puts it near the higher end of the 6s, but honestly not that great. Still middle of the pack on that scoring. Next up, we have Argentina, the winners from the most recent World Cup. This will be the kit they'll be using for the 2026 World Cup. Traditional striping, as we see the sky blue and white, taking a shape-shifting look with the 3 unique color fading effects, channeling the blue tones with the 3 previous World Cup shirts from 1978, 1986, and 2022. So I think we all really like this one. Actually, Dad rated this one the highest of all his. He says the gradient looks really good. He likes the gradient a lot. Personally, I think it's just okay. I think I liked last year's World Cup kit better than this one. So in my opinion, I gave it just a little bit lower. Jillian also really liked it, a high 8 as well. So the average came out to a 7.9 out of 3. So just missing the 8 cut in that one. Still ranked very high, I think respectable. Argentina looks really good though, regardless of the colors and the way the stripes look. Very traditional look, very nice look for Argentina. All right, and now heading into Belgium, the team that I'm actually wearing. I actually realized I did not have a lot of Adidas international kits. I have a lot of Nike and actually Puma. Adidas, I only have 2, Belgium and Germany, which is you'll see behind me, the 2018 World Cup. This one is the 2022 World Cup jersey with the flames on it. So how are they going to match up with that uniform this year? We got a red uniform, inspiration from the dominant Gothic stained glass windows found across the nation's architecture. Icons representing the Red Devils and the Red Flames, the nicknames of the men's and women's teams, are represented across the front of the uniform in the red-based jersey. The trims on the shoulder and the cuffs finish in a black and yellow detailing, leaning into the colors of the country's flag. I really like this uniform. I think Belgium hit it out of the park with this one. I love the pattern inside the jersey. I think obviously you're not going to see that on TV or in the stadium, but when you look up close, it's going to look really nice. I really like that look. Dad really liked it as well. Jillian actually really liked it as well too. So 7.83 out of 10 for all of us, the average score. So actually a really respectable number for Belgium. So they're up there at the high end mark. Heading over to Chile now. Chile, national bird is a condor, taking the center stage across the home kit. Sat in the traditional red base and all over printed across the echoes of the feathers of the bird, whilst the back of the neck and the condor appears again in the form of a bespoke sign-off icon. In my opinion, I don't think it's all that great. I think Chile could have done a little bit better. I give it a 6.8 out of 10 still, but we all kind of agree it's not all that great. Overall score, of this was a 6.03, so a little bit lower end of the 6s. Heading over to Colombia now. Colombia home kit inspired by a magical realm of the artistic style that fuses fantastic elements with realistic environments, often represented with yellow butterflies. It is paired with blue shorts, red socks, creating a unmistakable Colombian look. Now, we only got the kit uniforms, we only got the kit. We didn't get the full uniforms of all of these, so we're only rating them out of the kits. They give us a little bit more about what the rest of the uniform will look like. Again, very stereotypical of Colombia. We see the flag represented in the uniform itself. Really like that they do that. Overall, just rating the jerseys though, not too high on it. All of us got it into a 6.1 out of 10, so really lower end of the 6s. Heading over to Costa Rica. Costa Rica features a vibrant colored uniform now with a graphic print using elements such as leaves, toucans, and smiles in red, blue, and they're calling it pink. Looks like a purple based off the picture, but they're calling it pink. And it really honestly is kind of out there. Again, I'm okay with it. I just don't think it's all that great. Dad really likes it, and Jillian does too. He loves the colors. He says it's a bold choice, but he thinks it's the right choice. Personally, I go in the opposite route. I put on the lower end. So unfortunately, because of my score, I dropped it down to a 6.47. But overall, I think it's not that bad. I'm still looking for the toucans. They said toucans on there. I can't find them, but maybe you guys know where it is. Let me know down in the comments below. All right, let's head over to Germany now. One of the top looked at uniforms, because this will be the last Adidas uniform from Germany. I think they're going over to Nike following the 2026 World Cup, which is really pretty much a shame in my opinion. Germany has come out with very good uniforms in the past, and this one is an inspiration from the past uniforms that we've seen from Germany. The home jersey pays homage to some of the nation's most iconic shirts. The represented diamond shape and chevron detailings are inspired by the iconic graphics from previous shirts, including the 2014 World Cup winning shirt. Now, in 2018, the jersey that I have behind me, it's also an inspiration of that 2014 World Cup plus the 90s World Cup that I believe they also won around in the 90s area. So they really have gone into this chevron look for Germany in the past, and they're doing it again. Honestly, I think it's 100%, 10 out of 10. I think it looks amazing. This is my favorite jersey out of all of them. This is actually Jill's favorite jersey as well. She gave it a 9.1. I gave it a 10. Dad, on the other hand, is the opposite. He thinks it's just the same old design, and it's basically a bad Black Panther ripoff, is what he quoted. I don't agree with those comments. I think this jersey looks great. Overall, the rating, 8.43 out of 10. A very high rating, the highest rating we've seen, the first 8 as well. So Germany up there. Moving on to Hungary now. Hungary's jersey arrives in the country's traditional dark red combined with elements of white and green representing the colors of the Hungarian flag. The jersey celebrates 125-year anniversary of the Hungarian Football Federation with a special Jubilee logo, while the country's crest and the Federation logo feature above the heart and on the right side of the crest represented respectively. Again, nothing too much here. I just think the colors look really nice. Hungary probably could have done a little bit better, making it a special 125th anniversary one. If this is what they look like in the past and they haven't changed that much, okay, fine. But I don't know Hungarian jerseys all that well. The total score, 6.9 out of 10. Really not all that great, but higher end of the 6s. So we'll give that respect there. Now moving on to Italy. Italy, again, has not qualified for the World Cup yet. Will they make it to the World Cup? If they do, this will be the uniform that they will be wearing. Tradition meets innovation in the Italy home jersey. Inspired by the rich heritage of Italian football, the shirts celebrate the essence of the Italian Football Federation with its bold design. Azzurra, referring to the national team's nickname, and the color of the jersey, meaning the blue, appears in the gold lettering across the back of the shirt neck. So it's a blue jersey. Not surprised at all. I think it looks pretty solid. Dad thinks it looks really good. Jillian does not. She immediately said, nope, not for me. Dropped it down to a 6.4 out of 10. I think it's a little harsh. I think Italy's uniform looks really nice. I like the texture in the pattern of the jersey. Looks really nice, but again, collectively, 6.4 out of 10. We head over to Japan. Japan has a classic blue home jersey again this year, with brought to life using the abstract graphic of the ash blue linear details reflecting the famed haze found in the horizons where the sky and the sea meet in Japan. The Japanese flag sits proudly on the sign-off across the back of the neck. Japan is known for the blue uniforms. Why? I really do not know. But regardless, I think it looks great. One of my top uniforms as well, again, in here. I give it a 9.3 out of 10, down to 8.5. Jillian actually did not like it. She didn't like too many of the blue uniforms this time around. 6.2. So I dropped it down to a solid 8.0 out of 10. Still, second 8 of the episode. But again, I think it looks really good. It's one of the better uniforms I've seen from Japan. I love that texture and the design behind the crest. I love that it all comes funneling down into the team crest, that awesome Japanese crest on the middle. I think it looks great overall. Huge thumbs up for me. We move on to Mexico, one of the host teams, the first uniform that we've seen. But we have seen a few leaks coming out, and it looks like those leaks were correct. We're going to see a uniform representing the energy and pride that unite generations of fans during the upcoming FIFA World Cup. It celebrates the unwavering support in a nation that lives and breathes football. Every shared moment reflects a heart of Mexico. On the back of the neck, the phrase Somos Mexico, meaning we are Mexico, appears as a symbol of unity and passion that defines the Mexican spirit. Overall, the design is very busy. Yes, I understand that. I think the design looks very nice. It brings into the heritage of the Mayan Aztec look down there in Mexico. I think it looks really good. That white on that dark green, I think looks great. Really nice touch there. 7.9 out of 10 for all of us. So a high sevens, really respectable score for Mexico. Now we get into Northern Ireland, a team that will not be making the World Cup, but has a new uniform featuring a teal green base, punctuated by an abstract graphic inspired by dynamic lines in the country's architecture, connecting fans and players to the heart of the country. We do not like this uniform. I do not like this uniform at all. This is my lowest rated uniform, I believe. Lowest rated uniform. I give it a 2.1 out of 10. Looking at it, it looks like you're watching an anatomy on field. I mean, it looks like the anatomy of a person. He kind of looks like he's got pecs, abs, two different shades of the green. They're saying teal and green. I do not like it at all. I think this is a big miss here. We all kind of agree with that. 4.5 out of 10. Northern Ireland getting the lowest score of the whole episode, so don't expect anybody to be lower than 4.5. All right, now we head to Peru. These are inspired by the three elements found in Peru: the coastline, highlands, and the rainforest. A red sash proudly features as an all-over graphic print across the white base of Peru's home jersey. The print is created using an abstract line drawings, which form symbols of the landscape, such as a penguin of coastline, the forest leaf of a rainforest. The back of the neck sign-off of Peru is forming using a similar graphic font style. I don't think it looks too bad. I mean, it's something different. Usually, you always see that sash going across from shoulder to the bottom of the hip. Personally, I think it looks better than just going straight across. It's a little bit thicker. The only gripe I have is I do not like the number on the other side where the badge would normally be. I do not like that look. I think it should go underneath the badge. I think maybe to balance it out just a little bit, because it looks too clustered up top. I mean, you got the manufacturer logo, the jersey, and the sash all up top there. I would say just drop that number down to the middle bottom there. But the way the sash is, it looks like it might be even on like the stomach area, so that would be a little too low. So maybe even just making the number smaller. I don't know how to make it better. I would say that's my only gripe about it, but I think Peru actually did pretty well here. 7.8 out of 10, so we all really like this one. Nice job, Peru. Qatar, they'll be going to the World Cup again, back-to-back years. This year, they will be honoring a zigzag line that divides the white and maroon sections of the Qatar national flag, seen in the middle of the uniform. So really, honestly, not that much to this darker jersey. They're calling it maroon. 6.23 out of 10. I don't think it's all that great. It's just whatever, in my opinion. Saudi Arabia. New home kit will be a unique purple and dark green all over print, inspired by the elaboration design doorways found in the country and featuring vibrant details borrowed from the region's lavender fields. Now, this is very interesting. This is a color I did not expect to see from Saudi Arabia. I mean, we all kind of expected the dark greens or the light greens, maybe black, maybe white. Saudi Arabia coming out with a purple lavender, very different. Something I don't think we've seen ever out of a Saudi Arabian home kit. I give it a 6.9 out of 10. Not too bad. Dad really does not like it. He called it terrible. Jillian, not really a big fan of it either. 4.3 out of 10. So I think they really did just kind of miss the cut there with the kind of design pattern that they chose. 5.1 out of 10. So not a good score for Saudi Arabia. All right, we head to Scotland now. Scotland's home kit will be a traditional saltire pattern found on the Scotland flag in the center stage of the uniform, represented in dark blue pattern across the customary home kit. The saltire graphic is also represented across the back of the neck as a sign-off detail. I don't mind it. I think the uniform looks pretty solid. It looks good up close. I wish the detail was a little bit more prominent on TV or walking down the street. I think up close you'll see it. It looks great. From far away, not too great. I think it could have just been a little bit better. Dad says the numbers look really good. They're one of the few teams, them and Germany are the only two teams that have different numbers, and Spain actually, that have different numbers compared to everybody else of these Adidas cuts. So hats off to them to choose a different font there. But he also says the pattern should stand out more. He likes the pattern. He wants to see it more prominent in the uniform. Jill just kind of thought it was a little bit better than middle pack. Overall, 6.67 out of 10 for us. Heading over to Spain, potentially the favorites in this upcoming World Cup. This will be the jersey they'll be wearing for 2026. They have a pinstripe finish with red base, punctuated by representing yellow vertical lines that draw on visual cues to the national flag and crest. The spirit of the nation will be carried by the players with the word España seen written on the back of the shirt neck. I don't think it looks too bad. I think it looks better than what they had most recently. I wasn't a huge fan of the most recent ones for some reason, just did not hit with me. I like this one better, so I gave it a higher score, an 8.2. Dad was not too fond of it. He said, stripes, no bueno. Quote straight from him, 5.4. Jillian gave it a 7.2 out of 10, so she liked it as well. Collectively, 6.93 out of 10. I think it's a little low. I think it could be a little bit higher, but again, can't change everyone's opinions. Sweden now. Traditional yellow and blue colors associated with Sweden's home shirts with a modern twist to pay homage to the country's 70s era. The design features a tonal graphic built into fabric, inspired by the popular flower stitching commonly found on jeans and traditional Swedish folk dresses from the era. The nostalgic design allows fans to celebrate the heritage with a fresh yet familiar design, which is completely with the modern typography on the back of the neck, reading Sverige or Sweden in English. I doubt I said that correctly. I've never been able to say that word correctly. I think it's just I think most of the yellow kits, unfortunately, I did not really like too much. We give it a 5.8 out of 10. Higher end of the fives, but still low end on the rating scale. Not good from Sweden. The blue shoulders is a little bit different than what you're going to see coming up with Ukraine. So I give it a little bit better than that. But both yellow kits so far we've seen, not all that great. Now heading into the third and final yellow kit, we got Ukraine. The Ukraine jersey is a tribute to the nation's rich heritage and tradition. Traditionally, bright yellow and blue kits inspired a subtle, repeating graphic built into the shirt with a darker yellow color, with the pattern taking its inspiration and shapes from the elements found in the Ukraine coat of arms. Again, not good. I don't like the two shades of yellow at all. I think it was a big miss there. We gave it a collective 5 out of 10, so one of the lowest scores, the second lowest score actually, of all the kits, so not a good one there. And then the final three kits now. The UAE is now up. We got a white-based uniform with red accents with a unique gray graphic across the shoulders and arms. The geometric pattern takes its visual cues from the shield shapes found in the Federation's crest. I think it's just a little bit boring. I don't mind the colors together, but I just think it could have been done much better. We all kind of agree the same way, though. 6.6 out of 10. UAE just could have done a little bit better. Venezuela's now up. We got that classic burgundy red with the Venezuelan jersey again this year. It's got an all-over abstract print inspired by its shapes and typography. Found in the Temperi Mountains, I believe is how you say it. The back of the neck reads La Ventanino, which is the Federation's official name. I think Venezuela looks really nice with these colors. It's very odd to look at these colors when you look at the flag, but again, a lot of teams don't follow exactly their flag colors. Japan being one of them off the top of the head. So Venezuela, not too bad. 6.73 out of 10. I think it's a respectable score. It just, again, it looks kind of odd seeing that color with the red, the blue, and the yellow together. I don't think all four of those colors really match well. So I'm not a huge fan of Venezuelan uniforms. But Dad likes the colors. He says he likes it a lot. Jillian, same thing, 7.1. Dad gave it a 7.2. Collectively, 6.73. Now the last kit here. We're going to the Wales kit. They've reimagined with an introduction of the horizontal stripe design, factoring dark green, red, and white stripes. The official Welsh translation of the country name is on the front of the uniform as well. This featuring, again, across the team motto. Not going to try and say that. Translating, though, to the best play is team play across the back of the neck. I do not like this uniform at all. I think I might be in the minority here. I don't know if a lot of people do like it, but I personally do not. I do not think that stripe across the front looks good. I think the crest is too small. It gets lost in there. I think if you did that stripe across the front, but put the crest more noticeable on the top, I would like it better. But personally, I don't like it inside the striping. I think it gets lost. Collectively, we give it a 5.3 out of 10. Not good. Really not a good score for the Welsh uniform here. But again, I might be in the minority. I just really do not like this uniform. All right, with that being said, what was our number one, the Talking with Beauty's favorite Adidas uniform going into 2026 for these federations here? And we gave it to Germany. An 8.43 out of 10 was the highest rating collectively. Although Dad was not a fan of it, Jill and I both rated it as our highest ones, giving it a 9.1 and a perfect 10 out of 10 for us. Really awesome uniform. I can't speak much more praise about it because it looks great. Japan, again, once again, right up there with Germany in their uniform look. But what do you guys think? Do you guys agree with us? You guys not? How do you guys think the final rankings went? Do you think we were a little too harsh on teams? Do you think we were just right with some teams? Do you think we were over or ahead with some of these ratings? Make sure you guys hit the like, subscribe, the bell icon. Let us know down in the comments below. We'll have a nice discussion about what you guys think about the uniforms. Officially 188 episodes in the books. Make sure you guys go check out past episodes about things like college sports, core for North American sports, which we also talk about soccer in those episodes as well. So if you guys want soccer content, go check out those episodes. We appreciate you guys so much. Have a good rest of your week, and we'll see you guys later.